Okay, so girls, good morning. How are you doing? I hope you're okay. And welcome to the class today. As I said in my email, it was an important class. We need to focus on many things we still have to finish, solve any kind of doubt, ask questions so that you can continue working. Next week, we can meet again. There won't be any more classes. We have finished with the official classes, but the important thing is that you feel supported, that you have this space on Thursday morning to connect, ask questions, solve problems. And the same it will be tomorrow. So tomorrow I will send you a link also for office hours so that everyone can contact me again and ask questions. As you know, the complete list of tasks that you have received, that you have found uploaded to Educandos as well, and that you have been doing are five tasks. Here you have the names. And these are the tasks that you have been completing and you need to copy and paste to your portfolio. Moreover, in the portfolio, you have some questions that are reflective questions to ask you about the task, what you have learned, what would you do differently. Those are personal questions. There are no right or wrong ones, just to help you keep on practicing and so that you can learn how to articulate your reflections. Okay, do you have any doubts about these tasks? These tasks, the first here. They are short, easy to do. You have time. I will upload. So I think it will be next week. Yes, next week, your deadline to finish everything. So do not worry. You have time. Check everything, and you know that that I need to have after Christmas. I have to have all of your work evaluated. Today we're going to repeat again about the writing task. I have not seen all of the tasks yet, so I need to, we will explain again, give examples. And this will be a little bit independent from portfolio. You will have a different grade. And it will also account for your final module grade. So I will upload a task. I will create a task this week, week 14, remember? For the final versions. I read four versions. I gave feedback. And then from tomorrow online onwards, you have the possibility to upload your final version. Okay, Krishna. Okay, the activity in the group we're going to see in due time, Krishna. Wait a minute. Yes, we will revise everything again today, tomorrow, next Thursday. You will still have time to ask questions. So, this is as regards the portfolio tasks and the writing. Okay. And then we will see the final activity. Yes, do not worry. Okay, so today is the day of revision, Unit 2. Now we are in Unit 3. Oops. Recognizing activities that integrate the 4 language skills and the project work that Krishna wanted to ask questions about. If we check again the evaluation summary, we know the participation is what you have been writing in the forum. I will check on all your participation and give you a grade. Remember, this will be one of the last grades, so you keep on completing completing your participation. Then the oral exposition, you have finished, you have your feedback. There are people, if there are still people who are doing this, I have been helping them so they can still upload their videos. They're welcome. Then is the writing. This writing I was explaining to you, we will explain again. So this writing has a separate grade. And the portfolio, which we have been explaining with all the tasks. The writing, again, another writing task. And finally, the project work, which we will explain by the end. Okay, so as you see, we have been talking a little bit about everything. So you already know so this is what we are talking about. Then you have here, again, the example to write your comments and the oral expositions, to which you have been commenting. So congratulations on that. So thank you for doing that. Okay. So that is as regards tasks in general and the writing. And now we will go back to revising the writing. And as I said, this writing activity was intended to be creative, mainly creative, but some of you chose some more analytic writing, which is okay. As far as you write something in your own words, create your own sentences, do your own research, of course, on what you want to write. But as far as your writing is originally written by you, it's okay to write something analytic, and we will see the characteristics. But if you decide to do something creative, that means that's also original. Original is written by you, remember. Then you can express ideas and thoughts in an imaginative way. That is when you write something creative, yes. And we saw the examples, and we're going to see examples again. Make up things, make things up, means create, invent something new. And that is what you can do with this task. Create a new story, create a new ending, I don't know, create dialogues that will enrich the writing, the original writing, for example. And that is to make things up, create, invent something new. Okay. There are many examples of this, of course, and here we have examples of creative nonfiction, for example. And creative nonfiction, just these days, I have seen in YouTube a debate existing between those historians following the history of the real life of the royal family, for example, and those creators of the series, the Netflix series, The Crown, for example. And the writers of the series explain that what they do is creative nonfiction. Their stories in the different episodes are based on reality, but they create something new. That is creative nonfiction, and we have to understand it as a genre. Es un género literario. So it is based on reality. Many of the situations are true, and some of them are just fictitious, created, invented, yes, imagined in a new way. And this is something that we can also do with the stories that we read with children. I think this is something that is done in literature and that can motivate the children. So do you understand up to there? about what you can do with this task. Do you understand that? So we can continue with the explanation. So you can write something new based on that story that already exists. So and that is why creative writing is so free. Yes, you feel free because you step out of reality, you go out of reality of the story, and you are inspired by your imagination. And that can also be something positive to develop the language. Okay, and just what I was telling you about that Netflix series is an example that happens a lot, especially when we are not seeing a documentary. A documentary is about real life, real facts. But whenever you have episodes that recreate reality, you can have some other elements that are creative, that are imaginative. Also, with creative writing, you can express feelings, and your classmates have been good at this. For example, the case of Vanessa, she expressed feelings in the story. In the story she rewrote, she recreated, and that is something very valuable. Yes, feelings and emotions. Whereas if we compare the writings, Paola decided to write something analytic, and therefore she had to respect facts, yes, reality, and write something more academic. But that's also valuable. Yes, all of them are expressions of writing, different genres, what in Spanish we call géneros, and they're all valid as far as they are your original writing. This is not copied from anywhere. You need to write in your own words. Okay, so that as regards examples of writing, and you have that in everyday life, as well as when we watch a movie about the life of a person. Sometimes if it is not a documentary, as I said, the lives of people can be recreated, and that is okay. Yes. So that is part of creative writing and creative genres, and that enriches literature, for example. And in the movie industry, you can see that, and the series industry, you can see a lot as well. Okay, so here when we were talking about this like 2 weeks ago, we talked about writings to extend and demonstrate interpretations of the story. And that is also important. You show your understanding of the message, for example, if you recreate those stories. And that is true of the writings I have read, for example, Catalina's writing, Vanessa's writing. Javiera decided to write the dialogue on one of the stories. So what you're doing is showing that you understood the story and you are enlarging that that story. You're enlarging, you're creating something new, and most of you decided to keep the message, the main theme, and that is valuable as well. Okay, so we can stop here. So I will show you on Educandos. There was a problem, I think, with Educandos. There was something, but probably no. Educandos is okay, but there is some problem with Movistar. Okay, so this is okay. The writing will be on this page. On week 12. Okay. So on week 12, this one, week 12, you will see the task here created for formative feedback. So you upload it there, and then I will download, give you feedback, upload again, and write comments on your own document. So if I suggest to change something, write something differently, you will see there in the same. You will see that in the same document. Okay. So here in class, together with those people present, we thought about different ideas to write. So for example, we said we can develop a description about values, and that would be more analytic writing. Yes, in this writing, we will analyze, for example, the themes, the values. It's something that is done in literature modules. Whenever you study literature, you do this. It's kind of analytic writing. Yes, you investigate and you develop some theory about them. For example, the values, the themes of the story. This is valuable. You can do also with pre-adolescent children, adolescents, 12-year-olds, 13-year-old students. This can be done because they also learn about values in their mother tongue, and that can be a good topic for them. Remember, they are adolescents. They need to be able to understand those topics. Then we gave the example of something more creative, as for example, changing the ending of a story. I was giving examples. You can change other elements in the story as well. Or change the setting and characters. Yes, and I gave you an example. For example, this girl in one of the videos, three weeks ago, we watched the story by Daisy, the story is called I Don't Like Peas, and it's about food and about the main, a repeated symbol within the story is food, but you can change that symbol and you can place Daisy instead of at home, at school, and Daisy can say, I don't like math, I don't like English, I don't like, and keep nevertheless the same theme and message of the story. For example, it could be one idea. What else? One of your classmates changed the topic, so instead of a carrot seed, she planted another seed. They can have another meaning. Remember that the carrot seed is a symbol, but it can be a different plant that has another symbol, and that's also valuable. Yeah? So you can change also the characters. Instead of a boy planting the carrot seed, it can be a girl, it can be, I don't know, an old person. And therefore you might change some elements but still keep the same message. In the case of the carrot seed, in the case it is another seed, you still keep the theme of hope, perseverance. You can still keep the same theme, but change the character. So you're free in that sense. You're free to create. As we explained also, we are following the system, the pattern of writing process. And the writing process means you go through the circle within the process, so that whatever you write is not a final version in itself. So whatever you write is a draft. It's one more draft of all the drafts that are possible to write. And draft in Spanish is borrador. And sometimes also some professors call the final version a final draft, because that's also a draft. If you think that can be improved the next time you read it. And that's the idea of making writing more friendlier and more achievable, more successful for students. So think that your English learners, children learning English, adolescents, pre-adolescents learning English, need to feel safe. And this is a way in which you can feel safe by giving them opportunities to revise their own writings and improving them, yes, editing. So the idea is that you write a draft, send send it to me for revision, then you edit, you change it, you improve it, you make corrections, and then you send the final draft. In this case, just because we need a grade and we don't have so much time. But if we continue, we could go another round and another round, depending on your needs. But just for you to know the system, the process. Do you have any doubts? That's why I was showing you again the task on Educandos. So you upload it there. I give you feedback and you write the final version. So Krishna was writing that if she can send it today, yes, today, tomorrow. So I will create the final draft. Will be created below here in week 14. So I will send you the message. Whenever you have the final version, you upload it on week 14. And that is the one I'm going to give you a grade, with which you are going to earn a grade. Remember, you're learning, so of course, everything is a process. You are learning and you are in the process of learning. So value whatever you write in that sense. It's valuable because you're learning, and it can also be improved. Always you can improve your writing. Okay. Then we continue, apart from the process, with the list of follow-up writing activities. And we said that these green ones here refer to more analytic writing. So here, for example, you can write a book report, and in the book report you include all the features of the book. Yes, remember, you include the setting, the characters, the themes, the conflict, the resolution. Remember, you have a whole PowerPoint explaining the elements of writing, and that is what a book report is. Yes, the description of that book and the content, so that people go and buy the book and read the book. Yes, so magazines or newspapers write book reports promoting books. Yes, so for example, they will write interesting analysis so that people go and buy the book and read the book. With bestsellers, this is very much done. Also in academia. Yes, so if there is a new book from great scholars, then you immediately have the reports on that book, and that's always going on. That has existed for a long time. A report on the book's author is what Paola did. She wrote about the author of about Dr. Seuss, who had an interesting life, and he's a great author, and he had an interesting life, and she describes there why Dr. Seuss came to write children's books, and he has been successful, and he dedicated himself to literature, so that is also possible. Then the message of the story, as we said, we can analyze the message, the themes, the values, why are they important. An epilogue would be more or less the same, similar to all of these. And an epilogue, you can describe the message, the theme, something that goes beyond the book itself. and why any of these books can be useful with little children. Imagine the carrot seed is a good example. If you write an epilogue, then you may probably pay attention to why is this important for children, because it develops a message that is positive, it's hopeful, optimistic, and therefore you have a piece of writing on that theme. And then, of course, an article. An article also goes around this idea of reports, of analytic writing. Yes, and you want to stress something from a book or from the whole book to publish, for to give publicity, to give. So this has lots of objectives. Yes, for example, that people buy the book, as I said, or read the story. On the other hand, all of these blue ones here refer to more creative writing. And that is what we have been talking about, those writings in which you use your imagination, your creativity, your feelings. So you can write dialogues. That's what Javiera did. You change a story, the ending of the story is a favorite, example. You can write a new story. That's what Catalina did. But she kept the theme and the message. Or you can write a poem, those that are more creative and like poetry. You're welcome, even when it is your first time. That can also be good. That can also be good for you to develop. So you have a full list as far as it is, as we said, an original writing, it's acceptable, okay? To some people I have suggested doing something creative, but it's okay if you decide to do something analytic. So any of you would like to share an experience about this writing? Krishna says she wanted to change it, modify an ending. Okay, so Krishna, do you want to share with us the process of which story is it and how was your experience? You wanted to modify something? Or I don't know, Vanessa, she also changed some sections of a story. Anyone?
What was the process?
Yes.
Funny because I want to change it. And I choose a book that I don't like it. It's trauma, I mean, and
you didn't like the book. You didn't like the book.
And change the story a little bit.
Okay, so that's also good. Yes, that's also valuable. You can find that a book, okay, you can change something to improve it. You don't like it, maybe the author was not so right in this section. I can improve it. That's great. That's also great. And that can be very motivating with children. Imagine pre-adolescents from 10 years onwards, when they are very critical and they don't like many things from school, that should tell them, well, criticize this book and let us do it better. Let us write a better book. And that will be very motivating for them, because they would like it. They would like to be creative, yes, to do something new. So that's a great challenge for older kids, let us say between childhood and adolescence, when they are very critical, they want to be older and they are still children. In that age, this is great. So what Vanessa says is, well, I didn't like the book. I didn't like some sections. Okay, great. That's a great hook, un gancho, a great hook to do with pre-adolescents. So great idea. And you can do, also this is done in Spanish by teachers in Spanish as well, because it's a great activity for creativity, for language development. critical thinking. So it's a great activity. Okay. The rubric will be longer, but these are the main descriptions. Yes, so what you need to pay attention to is the content, yes, that is relevant, of course. Yes, if you decided to do, as I said, Javiera decided to write a dialogue, but it's relevant to the story. She's not talking about something else, a different topic. Yes. Then the writing includes the conventions of communicative tasks, so it transmits ideas effectively. Yes, you have to communicate your meaning. If this is not done, then it will be a failure. Yes, your writing will be a failure. Then the language, you use the vocabulary that corresponds to the story. Yes, the vocabulary. Grammatical forms. I can give you feedback if you have any problems with verb tenses or sentences. If they are too long, you need to write shorter sentences. I will give you feedback on that. Then it's what, of course, the writing is organized. You start at the beginning, not at the end. You know this. It's creative, yes, and creative means many things. You can be creative by being by being, I mean, implying creative writing, but also in the case of analytic writing means it is your original work. You're not copying from somewhere else. So that is creative, original, yes, written by you. And the format. Of course, you follow the format of the common format of the writing. I gave Javiera some feedback on the format of dialogues, yes, for example, because she needed a specific format, but not every case will need the specific format. But you know the basic formats of narrative or poem. And if you need dialogues, then it has a special format. ¿Sí? Es un formato especial para el diálogo. Las personas que escribieron diálogos, por ejemplo. Okay, so that's in general, these are the great descriptors to which you have to pay attention to. Okay, so is this clear? Do you need anything else? Any other explanations?